This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're here at the Precious Metals Summit 2016 in Beaver Creek, Colorado. With me right now is Dr. Andrew Stewart from Xanadu Mines. It's a publicly traded company with the symbol XAM on the Australian Stock Exchange. Andrew, welcome to SNNLive.
Oh, thank you, Robert. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
Oh, it's great to have you on our program. So for our audience, let's start with an overview, and then we'll go from there.
Xanadu Mines is a copper and gold exploration company. We're focused in Mongolia in the South Gobi region. We've got a growing gold-rich copper resource at our Kharmagtai project and a new epithermal gold discovery at our Oyut project. We're a company. We have two district plays in our company and a very, very aggressive exploration program underway on both projects.
Okay, so copper and gold in Mongolia. So what brought the company to Mongolia? Do you have somebody on your team that just found a couple potential places to start developing, or?
Well, as a team, we have a long history in Mongolia, but really it was on the back of the large Oyut discovery in the South Gobi, and our Kharmagtai project is located 120 kilometres north of that project. And really the focus was Mongolia is God's gift to exploration companies, sparsely populated, very well endowed in mineral resources, and a good place to explore. You know, we were talented, certainly talented resource base there.
And what's the geopolitical climate there? You know, is it easy for, outsiders to come in and start to develop some of these potential assets?
I think that Mongolia's had its ups and downs the last few years. A decade ago, having a strategic position in Mongolia was a necessity for all major companies, and you can argue not a lot has changed. But in the meantime, we've had some ups and downs with the political, the downturn of the mineral cycle, etc. But if you look at the development of the large Oyut project, that's happened, very rapidly since discovery in 2001, 2002. But today, Rio Tinto has built the third biggest copper mine in the world, and is funded in phase 2, which will be the biggest underground mine in the world in the next few years. So, that proof of concept, exploration, discovery, you can build mines. As an explorer, that's what we look for.
So let's talk about your projects right now. Can you give us an overview of what's been happening?
Yeah, Kharmagtai project, which is our flagship project. It's a copper and gold porphyry project. As I said, located in the same South Gobi belt as Oyut, 120 kilometres to the north. It's a district. We're very conscious on having largest district plays in our portfolio. We have a growing JORC-compliant copper and gold resource there. That's in the rear vision mirror now, and we're progressing that with some aggressive exploration now, with an aim to having a resource mid to late next year.
So I want to know what your background is. What brought you into the business, and then also brought you specifically into Mongolia?
My background, I'm an exploration geologist, over 15 to 20 years experience. I first started working in Mongolia. I worked with Ivanhoe in 2001 to 2005. And also, a lot of work, through Southeast Asia. But really, going back to Mongolia, it's an area, it's a country that has, vast underexplored copper belts, very little modern exploration, really only the last decade. So, you have an objective for Xanadu to get there, because it was a place where we could find those giant deposits. We're looking for large deposits, and we're really, that was the place we wanted to be.
Yeah, so because one of the things that, I host a podcast as well, and one of the things that one of my guests on the program said is, we're looking for new discoveries. We want to find new areas. So is Mongolia one of those places where, now there's a lot of competition because people want to go to those sparsely populated areas where there might be some resource?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of good places to explore globally. Mongolia, it has 2 tier 1 copper assets. It has a history of developing copper assets, and it's one of those areas where, if you compare to a country like Chile that's had multiple decades of exploration, Mongolia hasn't had that coverage. So a junior company like Xanadu, we can be effective on the ground and have a chance of finding those ore bodies which are still at surface. We're not into the deep drilling that you get in mature terrains. We're very focused on finding those shallow resources, and that's the opportunity there that Mongolia has.
That was my next question, actually. Is it more near surface then, if it hasn't had those decades of exploration?
Yeah, our resource is outcrop. You can walk on them, you can stand on them, you can walk across. Most of our drilling still, relatively shallow. We're only drilling down to 300-400 metres. We know it grows at depth and gets better, but the focus of the company is to find that open pittable resource.
So from what you can tell me, what are some of the goals and milestones for the company heading into the end of 2016, going into 2017?
We completed a very successful capital raise a few months ago, so the company's well funded now with about $12 million on cash on hand to deploy in exploration in the next 12 to 18 months. The focus is, we are drilling aggressively on both our projects and probably are the most, active explorer in Asia at the moment in this space. And the key milestones is, a new upgraded resource that'll take the project at Kharmagtai through to a pre-feasibility bid next year. But also we've had a new gold discovery at our Ulaan project, and really that exploration drilling there's to define the potential there for a high-grade shallow gold resource.
So where can our audience go and find more information about the company?
The best place is on the Xanadu website at www.xanadumines.com.au.
And that's XANADU mines.com.au. Right.
Thank you.
My name is Robert Kraft, coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're here at the Precious Metals Summit 2016 in Beaver Creek, Colorado. With me again is Dr. Andrew Stewart from Xanadu Mines, publicly traded company. The symbol is XAM on the Australian Stock Exchange. Dr. Stewart, thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert.